Hey, all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at two figures in Mattel's new WWE Ultimate Edition action figure line with Ultimate Warrior and Ronda Rousey. Now, these are the first two figures to be released in this new series. They come packaged in a similar style. They've got window box packaging. Up at the top, you've got the Ultimate Warrior and Ronda Rousey names, and then you've got the figures clearly displayed along with all the accessories. You've got white and red boxes for each one, and then down below you've got the Ultimate Edition logo, and it says Ultimate Articulation for Authentic Posability. Then on the sides of the packaging, on one side you've got the image of the character, and the other side you've got the name. And then on the back of the packaging, you've got more images of the characters as well as stats and a brief bio for each one. So here's a look at the Ultimate Warrior, and here's Ronda Rousey. All right, let's get these open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at both figures outside the packaging along with their other contents. Now, first of all, let me just say a big thanks to the folks at Mattel for sending me these figures so I could review them for you guys. Now, personally, I'm not a huge WWE wrestling action figure collector, but I was really interested in wanting to check these new figures out when they were first announced. They're said to have better articulation, a lot of accessories, highly detailed and everything. So I was really interested to see what these were all about. Now, we've had previously, basic figures and elite collection figures and such, but this is really them kind of taking it to the next level. Now, we'll start off by taking a look at the Ultimate Warrior figure, and for accessories, this one comes with 3 different pairs of hands. So you get a pair of normal grip hands, which are the ones that are attached to the figure when you take it out of the packaging. Then you get a pair of closed-fisted hands for punching people, and then you get a pair of open hands for, grabbing or slapping or whatever you want to do. And then besides the multi-pair of hands, you also get 2 different head sculpts with this figure. So the first head sculpt is, when he would first come to the ring and his makeup is in perfect condition and everything. He always paints his face with this mask design. It's always got a different pattern on it. Every time he would come out to the ring, it would have different patterns. And this one is done with white, and it's got various other colors sprinkled in. But again, it's all nice and clean. This would be, before he sweats it all off and everything. His hair is in pretty good shape there. I like the wash effect on the hair. It's a dark brown with a lighter color, so that looks pretty good. So, and it looks like the Warrior, this one, it doesn't look all crazy and everything like you would often see with the Warrior. Really this kind of just general look for him is not something you generally saw when he would come out to the ring. But overall appearance-wise, I think they did a pretty good job here. And then the second head sculpt included features the Warrior as he would look more towards the end of a match, where all of his makeup is kind of sweated off and, he's kind of gritting his teeth so he looks angry. His hair still looks pretty well combed and everything. They should have maybe given him more sweaty looking hair. So, this is the one you'd probably want to use if you have him in the ring or, right after his match is over. And then the final accessory you get is this jacket or coat that he would wear, or robe, whatever you want to call it, that he would wear to the ring. Now, oftentimes Warrior would just come running out. He wouldn't usually have something like a robe. This one, I think, took place later on in his career when he was in the NWO. This is based on Halloween Havoc, so you've got some Halloween type designs on it and everything. I don't remember this match, but in the WWE early days, he would just come running down to the ring and really didn't have like any additional ring attire. But this looks pretty good overall. I like the designs and everything. I think they did a pretty good job. Since I'm not really familiar with the match itself, I assume this is what he actually wore, so it's probably accurate. But he's got like the skeleton here and everything. It is a soft goods material, and it does fit well on the figure, and of course you can take it off if you want to. Now here I've gone on and taken off the coat, and you can see on the underside of it, it's just a white silky material. You can see the designs on the outer side through it, but there's no, other than the stitching here, there's really no detail on the inside of the coat. And then this is what the figure looks like without the actual robe on. And you can see on the rest of the body, it's pretty nicely detailed. You've got the tattoos here on the right arm, and you've got these tassel pieces on the biceps. Now, these are separate pieces, so you could actually remove them if you pop the hands off, and they will move a little bit on the arms. Now, the paint on this one is a little bit sloppy. You can see some purple has bled over onto the orange. Not a big deal. These would be cloth, so I don't, that you might even see that in real life. And then you've got the white, and these are done with just rubber material. And then you've got these wrist wrist pieces as well. And these look pretty good. You've got the purple and white and got the same design pattern as the robe and on his shorts and everything with the Halloween Havoc theme. And then, you know, again with the shorts nicely detailed. Good physique, you know, he was always in top condition, very tan, so that's all in keeping with the character. You've got some nice designs on the back of the shorts as well. And then you've got these knee pads and you've got tassels on those, and those are actually removable. You can just pop them off, they just plug in, so that's pretty cool. And the tassel pieces that are attached to the bands on the bicep are also removable, they just plug in. You can also turn these, which is cool because, you know, if you have, say, like you put your wrestler's arm up in the air, you can turn the tassel piece so it's facing downward, so it's not, looks like it's not going against gravity. Now you do have to, when you turn them, they come out sometimes, so you do have to maybe plug it back in. But I like the fact that you can move them so that they don't look like, you know, like I said, that they're going against gravity. And you've got, again, nice detail on the knee pads matching up with the rest of the outfit. And then for his boots, he's got these outer tassel pieces, and these are just done with the rubber material. They are separate pieces, so they will move a little bit there, up and down on the leg. And then you've got the red boots underneath and the Ultimate Warrior mask painted on there in white. Okay, now on to Ronda Rousey. And Rousey actually appears to have more accessories than Warrior does. So she comes with 2 hand pieces. She comes with a pair of closed fists, and then she comes with just a pair of grip hands. And you've got these little black things that are on her knuckles and go down the back of her hand, and that looks pretty good. And same on the closed-fisted hands, so pretty good detailing there. The figure has 3 different head sculpts, so this one is kind of her mean face. She looks like she's about to kick somebody's ass. Her hair is back in a ponytail, so nice detailing with that. And the ponytail, you can move a little bit. It's just a rubber material. It doesn't really rotate all the way around, but you can move it a little bit. And good paint applications on this one. And again, you know, she just looks like she's about to kick somebody's butt. And then we have a second head sculpt that has the same kind of hairstyle with the ponytail and everything, but with this one, she's much more happy looking. She's got a big smile on her face. Looks like maybe she's just won a match or something. So again, same kind of hairstyle and everything as the previous one, only this one she looks happy. And then the third head sculpt here is another happy face. She's got another big smile here, but with this one, instead of her hair being in a ponytail, it's down and off to the left side. And if you want to switch the heads on these, all you do is you just pop them off. They attach with ball joints. Now, I did have to, with some of these, when I initially tried to pop them on, had to warm them up with a hair dryer because they were a little bit tight and hard to get popped on there. And even still, you can see just trying to get this one back on, you have to really kind of push. But if you have difficulties, the best thing to do is just take a hair dryer and heat the plastic up. And then the final accessories that come with Rousey are for her ring attire. So her Roddy Piper look with the kilt and the leather jacket. So basically what they do is they have you where you switch out the arms, and to do that all you do is you just pop them out, and then you're gonna have to pop off the hands, and then you can take these jacketed arms. Probably before you do that, you want to go on and put the main part of the jacket around her like that, and then just pop in the arms. And so the sleeved arms, you want to make sure you have the left on the left side and the right on the right side. And you do have to kind of, you know, make sure her hair doesn't get tucked under the jacket. And if you have any problems getting the arms popped in, like with the head, you might want to take a hair dryer and just heat up the plastic a little bit. And then you just pop in the hands, the same hands into the sleeved arms. And then once you do that, it looks like she's wearing the leather jacket, and then you just take the kilt and just put it around her waist. And you could probably do that first if you really wanted to, just because the jacket kind of hangs down, but it's not a big deal. And then you just plug it in the back. And so now she's wearing that Roddy Piper ring attire as she would look as she comes down the aisle to the ring. And with her kilt, it's made with the rubber material. You've got some nice detailing here on the front with the metallic silvers and the black, and you've got the belt, which is also done with metallic silver. Looks like a chain, and then you've got the red, black, and white pattern. And I think the figure looks really good even when you have the jacket on. I think they did a really good job with this. I like how they did it with the separate arms and everything. You know, with previous figures that they've done in the past, you know, you get that thick material and it just doesn't look very good, or it's hard to really get off. But with this one, you know, it's pretty simple. And again, I think it looks good. The figure looks good with both the jacket on and off. And you've got nice detailing on the jacket with some sculpting detail up here on the shoulders and on the back of the jacket as well. Now you can can see some skin tone, some gappage there between the arm and the actual coat piece when you look at the figure from the side. But when you look at it from the back, you don't see that, so I do like that. And you've got even sculpting detail here on the elbow pads, or whatever you want to call that. And one thing I also like about this is that this, even though it's a female wrestler, even with the sleeved arms, she's got a double hinged elbow, so she gets really good bending there even with the jacketed arm. I was expecting double hinged elbows with the unjacketed arms, but I'm impressed that they gave her the double hinged elbows even with these extra arms. So this, I would say, is probably the most articulated female wrestling figure that's ever been produced, at least by Mattel. But I think maybe in general, I don't think any company's ever given us this articulated of a female action figure for wrestling. Let's go over the rest of articulation for Rousey. And again, this figure is highly articulated, so you can turn the head to the left and to the right. Now, you don't get much up and down movement with these, unfortunately, and you also don't really get a whole lot of head pivot. With the arms, you can get her arm out good there. You don't get a butterfly joint or anything, but you do have good overall movement. You can rotate the arm, and you've got a bicep swivel. Again, you have the double hinged elbow, so good bending there. And then you've got rotation with the hands, and you have hinges on the hands, so you can get it up and down really good there with those. And then she's got a midsection joint. You don't have an ab crunch with these. Neither Ultimate Warrior or her have an ab crunch, but you do get rotation there at the midsection. Really can't crunch forward though. You can pivot to the left and the right and can look back a little bit, but again, not too much. You get a waist swivel with these, with the legs. She can do the splits pretty good there, and then she can get her leg forward about that much, and she can do her leg out and back a bit there, and she's got a thigh swivel, double jointed knee, so good bending there at the knee, and then she has rotation there at the boot swivel, and she has hinges, so up and down movement. You get toe articulation with her, and you get some rocking motion with the foot, but I wouldn't really call it ankle pivot. And with this one, there are no peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Now with Ultimate Warrior, he can turn his head to the left and the right. Now he's got the longer hair, so that limits some of that movement. If you turn it too much, it might pop it off the ball joint there. So just be aware of that. Like with Rousey, he doesn't have much in the way of forward and really no back because of the long hair. See, I'll pop this off. So these, it would have been nice if they'd given us a hinge joint here on the neck or made the neck move in some way. As it is, you can just kind of move that ball joint back and forth and such. So if there was one area on this figure where it maybe could use a little more added movement, it's probably there at the head, maybe at the midsection as well. An actual ab crunch with some of these would have been cool. But still, overall, for a wrestling figure, this does seem to be pretty highly articulated. So you can get the arm out good, and you've got rotation there, and you've got a bicep swivel, you've got a double hinged elbow, so good bending there. You've got the rotation with the hands and hinges on the hands, so good up and down movement. As I said, you've got the midsection, so you can rotate there, and you can pivot to the left and the right. This one has probably a little more forward and back movement than Rousey, but not much. And then you've got a waist swivel with the legs. You can do the splits that much on this one, and then you can get the leg forward about that much. And you can really can't do the leg back. You can do it out and back a little bit. You've got a thigh swivel. You've got a double jointed knee. You do have the knee pads, so that will limit some of it if they're over the joint, but you do have a double jointed knee. And then with the feet, you have a boot cuff swivel again. You have a hinge there on the foot, so you have up and down movement. Again, you have toe articulation with this one and a little bit of rocking motion with the foot. And this one does have 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, and these figures stand, the Ultimate Warrior figure stands right about 7 inches, maybe just a hair under, and then the Rousey figure stands closer to 6 1/4 inches tall. And for comparison, starting with Ultimate Warrior, here's a look at some other classic wrestling figures. So we've got Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan. And then for Rousey, here's a quick comparison with the female Flair figure, and this one definitely has much nicer articulation than this one. Okay, so that's my review, and while I'm not a huge wrestling action figure collector, I've got to say that both of these figures are pretty nice. It's good to see Mattel stepping up their articulation game. I like the double hinged elbows on both figures, especially with the female figure, especially with both sets of arms, both the unjacketed and jacketed arms. I think that's a really nice touch. Between the two figures, the Ronda Rousey figure is probably my favorite. I think it's more detailed, you get better accessories. The Ultimate Warrior figure is a nice figure, but I just kind of like like the Rousey figure better. Now, both of these figures are available now. We'll have a full image gallery up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And of course, you can follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to all those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.